Hello, this webinar is titled Christopher Columbus, Arrogant People Tear Down the Past. But what we'll really explore is whether this is ignorance, arrogance, or maliciousness, and is it actually a revolution? Washington Irving penned one of the earliest scholarly works about Columbus. He spent extensive time in the historical archives of Spain examining primary source documents by Columbus, his crew members, the Royal Spanish Court, and others. Irving was aware that over time, writers often take those who are great heroes and steadily begin to attack and diminish their contributions. There's a certain meddlesome spirit which, in the garb of learned research, goes prying about the traces of history, casting down its monuments and marring and mutilating its fairest trophies. Care should be taken to vindicate great names from such pernicious erudition, meaning the destructive pseudo-academic attacks that we see today. It defeats one of the most salutary purposes of history, that is, wholesome purposes, and that is of furnishing examples of what human genius and laudable enterprise may accomplish. Theodore Roosevelt said this after being elected as President of the United States of America. He was elected President of the American Historical Association, and in his 1912 inaugural address, he explained how many times historians abandon objectivity in their quest to appear neutral. He said, "The greatest historian should also be a great moralist. It's no proof of impartiality to treat wickedness and goodness on the same level." So why do arrogant people go about tearing down the past? Why do they do this? Well, pridefulness, belief in their own moral superiority, failing to understand human nature, fail to look at the context of the times. They want to make themselves look insightful and or progressive. They have a shallow view that the only knowledge that can be known is what they have experienced in their lifetimes. They elevate themselves over the great heroes of the past by criticizing them while overlooking all their own flaws. These would just be some of the items on the list. This is what that looks like when the images are displayed on our screen almost daily. The revolution has begun. And this is what the decimation of statues in our history looks like. Tearing down statues. The question is, the issue is never the issue, it's about the revolution. It's interesting to look at Mao Zedong's steps to cultural revolution in China. These were the steps that took place. To indoctrinate the youth with fake history and a promised utopian future, to deaden their senses toward others, to mobilize the youth against their own history, to mobilize the youth against parents, to tear down statues, to tear down institutions, to rewrite history, and then to censure, intimidate, and eliminate all opposition. It's about revolution. How many died during this revolution in China? New evidence suggests a far higher number for the victims of this time period. Recent scholarship is indicating as many as 43 million people died in this cultural revolution, and we're seeing all the hallmarks of that in the United States of America. But the American people are waking up. Are you one of them? Christopher Columbus, arrogant people tear down the past. Is it ignorance, arrogance, or maliciousness? Or is it about revolution? This is U.S. Civics Training. Thanks for listening.